Assalamu alaikum, dear friends. In this video we are going to learn about the new parts of speech, and that is verb, which is the most and most important part of the speech. In this video we will define initially the verb, and then we will be discussing about transitive and intransitive verbs and the difference between these two verbs. So let's get started. The verb is defined as a verb is a word used to tell or assert something about some person or thing. Mean the verb is a word used to tell about the subject or and that subject may be a person or a thing. So the verb tells about the subject or the person or a thing. What does a person or a thing does, or plural subjects may what they do. We have first, a verb may tell us. First of all, a verb may tell us what a person or thing does. Okay, mean it shows the action of the subject. Here we have the examples like Ali laughs. The second example is the clock strikes. Secondly, the verb may tell us what is done to a person or thing. Okay, it tells the use of the passive voice. Okay, when the subject or the subject of the verb is acted upon by the subject. So we have the examples like window is broken. Now what has done to the window? It is broken. So this is, and next example is Ali is appreciated. So now here again Ali is appreciated. So now the action is referring back to the subject, mean it done to the person and Ali. Thirdly, a verb may tell us what a person or thing is. Okay, now here it is telling, a verb may tell us about the state of being. Okay, the state of being. Like here the example is the cat is dead. So now dead is the verb which is telling about the state of the cat. Okay, so the current state of the cat is it is dead. Next, it is a baby. Okay, now here baby and is stating the state of being of the person baby. Next, here comes the transitive and intransitive verbs. We have the first example, the boy peels potato. Secondly, we have we may put a question like peels what? Peels potatoes. Now peels is a transitive verb. Okay, peels, because it needs an object to complete its meaning. Okay, if we just say the boy peels, so the sentence incompletes the sense, and it needs an object to be completed. And in the second example, the boy laughs, and laughs is what? Laugh is intransitive verb, because it does not need any object to complete its sense. So the definition of the transitive verb: a transitive verb is a verb that denotes an action which passes over from the doer or subject to an object. Okay, a transitive verb is when the subject of the verb passes the action or the state of being to an object of the verb. It may be called as the transitive verb. We have the example like the boy peels potatoes. So the boy peels is the action of the subject. Peels what? Peels potatoes. This is. And intransitive verb may be defined as: an intransitive verb is a verb that denotes an action which does not pass over from the doer or subject to an object, or which expresses state or being. Okay, mean we may simply say that an intransitive verb doesn't need an object to complete its sense. And in other words, we may say that an intransitive verb only expresses state or state of being. We have the example like the boy runs. Now runs is an intransitive verb, and it itself is complete by all its meaning. So now it is showing an action. Second, we have the example the boy sleeps. Sleep is a state, and it is giving the complete sense which doesn't need an object to complete its meaning. And thirdly, we have the example there is a flaw in this diamond. So is now here is showing the being of the diamond, which is completely. Okay, we may say that a sentence cannot be completed without a verb. So here we have only is the verb. it may not be considered as the helping verb. It is the main verb or the ordinary verb which completes the sense of the sentence. Thirdly, we have two types of objects. One is called direct and the second is called indirect object. We have the example like he gave me a book. And now if we divide the subjects into objects into two parts. So we have two objects. One is me and second one is a book. So here if we may say, so gave what? If the answer comes gave what? Gave a book. A book is called to direct object when the answer comes of what. So what will directly lead to the direct object. And if we put the question of whom, I gave a book, sorry, he gave a book to whom, so to whom will answer the question of indirect object. Here we have like gave what? Gives the answer of direct object, and if we put the question gave whom, it gives the answer of indirect object. Like here his father gave some gifts to his sons. Okay, now there is another arrangement in the sentence. In the earlier sentence we have the arrangement indirect object at first and the direct object was at the second place or after the indirect object. But now here we have some gifts. Okay, his father gave what? His father gave some gifts. So now some gifts is the direct object, and gave some gifts to whom? To his sons. To his sons is the indirect object. So now here what is the difference when to bring indirect object at first and direct object at later, and what are the conditions to bring the direct object at first? Keep remember, when there are some when two or more than two words come or the longer subject, whatever the subject is, it must be put at last. Like to his sons we have three words and is a longer object, so it may be put at the last. And when we have only one or two words, mean it is shorter than other object, so the shorter object must be brought at first or in the first place. Okay guys, this was today's lecture about the verb transitive, intransitive, the difference between the transitive and intransitive verbs, and the objects. Like we have two objects that were direct and indirect object. So we had a short definition and short introduction about these three things. In the next video we shall be discussing about more transitive and intransitive verbs. By then keep all of you in contact with me, and if you have not subscribed my channel, so please subscribe my channel and support me, and take care. Allah Hafiz.